What's happening, guys? So Nate back here, and today's video is an interesting topic. There is this theory that I want to cover with Facebook ads, and we're going to cover that right now. So I've been running Facebook ads for a really long time, and there is trends that I noticed when running my campaigns, and one of these trends are good times, bad times. Facebook ads has this really weird consistency issue where you could run the same product as me, and I work and you don't, or you work and I don't, right? The exact same product. Or I could run a campaign now, and then if I accidentally kill that campaign, turn it off or whatever, pause it, and I try to start that campaign up maybe a week from now or 2 weeks from now or whatever, that campaign doesn't take off again. These are issues that very hard to explain. I'm gonna try to explain them in this video. I don't know if it's gonna work, but okay. So two things that I noticed when I'm running campaigns for the last 3-4 years or whatever. One of them is, it's called pockets of audience theory. And when you launch your campaign, you are putting your ads into, like, because you got a $5 budget, right? You might only reach 400 people for $5. Just like $11 or $12 CPM or something. That ad set, you know, if you have, that might be the wrong pocket of people when that ad starts. It might not be the people that actually want to buy your ads, your product. And so one of the things that a lot of people tell you is, hey, they'll take an ad set, right? And they'll duplicate 10 times until it takes off. Now, this is definitely something that I have tested, definitely have tried this. One of the things I've noticed was I personally felt like I spend more money when I duplicate 10 times. Now, do I do it a little bit? Yeah, I do. The way that I do it, if you watch my training, is I'll tell you to start USA, duplicate, start worldwide, duplicate, start top 20 countries. So you're having 3, but they're targeting different locations. 3 per ad set. But every ad set, if you have 5 ad sets and you target those 3, then you actually have 15 ad sets, right? That's kind of my doing the duplication. And if you watch my training, I actually do one other thing, and I'll duplicate all those 15, and I'll do with exclusions. With page exclusions, so people that like my fan page, people that have interacted with my ads or interacted with my page before or my ads before, they hit like or comment or whatever, any kind of interaction, I will exclude those people in one of the sets of 15, and then I will not exclude them in another set of the 15. That will force Facebook to make sure my ads are only being shown to new people, and then the ones without the exclusion, or the ones with the exclusions, is forcing Facebook to only show me new people. The ones without, I get to mix the people that might have seen my stuff before. And I'll normally do 180 or 365-day exclusions on my ads, and so that way I'm having duplications in a smart way. That's what I like to think. It's smart. It's smart way to set up duplication. That way I'm just not duplicating the same ad set 10 times or whatever. I'm doing some form of duplication when I start the ads in order to hit different pockets of people. I'm forcing Facebook to show me into different pockets of people. Now, how often do those different ad sets that are, duplications, USA, worldwide, top 20 countries, without exclusions, with exclusions, how often do they, actually, do I see a big difference? And there was a period where I saw a massive difference, and I almost said, okay, this is concluded, I am finished, I don't need to do this test anymore. And then the funny thing is, it stopped being very as clear as it was, and then now it's more mushy again. But there was a period about 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago, where if I used exclusions, so when I excluded everybody that's interacted with my page before. Now my fan page has like 400,000 likes, right? So it's a pretty big fan page. So if I excluded my fan page and I excluded anybody that's ever interacted with any of my ads for the last 180 days, which was like 1 million people, and then anything with the exclusions, Facebook, those things never took off. They just never would work. All my ad sets without exclusions, that means it was part of the audiences that have seen my stuff before, would always work. And then I was like, well, that's pretty weird. That's So why do I want to use exclusions anymore? But then I just continued, forgot about it. I told my, I had told my staff how to set up ads, and then I forgot, and then I checked stuff, 6 months later. I was like, oh yeah, I think they're still setting them up with and without exclusions. I think they're still setting up with double. And then I check again, and the next thing I know is it's not as clear anymore. I got 50% winners with exclusions, 50% winners without exclusions. And so this whole point, the whole thing I'm trying to tell you is, it's definitely true. It's definitely true. So you have to, if you just set up an ad set once and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean it could not work. And so you got to do enough tests. Like that's why, this is one of the reasons why I do my PPE test, right? I keep going back to my PPE test because I did a while back, I did a video called Why We PPE Test, PPE versus WC. One of the criteria, or one of the reasons I made that video is because I said how cheap PPE was. But in that test, in that comparison, I did not even include the fact that I do duplications. And so if we redid that test with the duplication stuff, oh my God, it would be crazy comparison, and PPE would win 10 times to 1. And even though in that previous video, PPE won as a testing ground, PPE won like, I don't know, 3 to 1 or 4 to 1. I can't remember. It was like $160 or $150 or something like that compared to $500. So it was like a 4 or 5 times more expensive to test on WC. And then if we include the exclusion stuff into that, it would be, ridiculously more expensive on WC. So this is another reason why I guess I do duplications, but I also test with PPE. There's one other thing that I want to talk about, and it's kind of about the same topic, which is if I have my 5 designs, right? And I PPE test this today, but then I sit on that design and I don't set it up on WC right away. Let's say I sit on that for 2 weeks. There is a chance that me setting that up on WC, and I tested it 2 weeks prior on the PPE and it had great numbers and it looked like promising numbers, and I set that up on WC 2 weeks later, there's a pretty good chance that too much time has passed and I'm not gonna be able to hit that same pocket of people that I did reach on PPE. So how fast does Facebook refresh audiences? Well, it's about once a quarter, right? But you do not want to wait from your PPE test to your WC setups. You want to make sure that you're setting up as fast as possible because there is an audience time factor. You want to make sure that you're hitting that same pocket of audience in order for your ads to take off right away. Because what I noticed is that if you're hitting the right pocket of people, your ads start better, they actually will perform better over the course of a full campaign. Because they started better, they will perform better. Now, if your campaign starts poor, it's possible it could get better, but from most of my testing, it normally does not get better. And so when I'm looking for campaigns that show promise on WC, most of the time I can tell if it's a good winning campaign in the first day. And that's only because I'm looking at like, hey, even though I tell you not to look at the metrics, right? I tell you not to look at the metrics, but for me personally, I can tell if it's going to be an average winner or a really big winner or not a winner at all just by looking at first day stats. And what does a super winner look like on WC? Super winner on WC looks like sub 40 cent link clicks, right? And add to carts day 1, at least a couple sales, right? If it's got 4 or 5 sales, it means 1 sale per ad set at least, maybe 2 on 1, then it's even better. So you want to have sales. That's like really good numbers. Sales on day 1, added cards, sub 40 cent link clicks. We're talking about 1200 by 1200 photo posts, all whatever. So let's say I have really good numbers, right? And I start my WC campaign now, and something happens and my credit card gets blocked or whatever, and I have to pause my campaigns because I can't pay my bills or whatever. I don't know. Just an imaginary scenario. Well, it's happened before in the past where I had to pause stuff in order to get my funds or whatever. But let's say you had to pause your ads. You had a winning campaign, you paused your ads. And let's just say you had to wait a month. Let's say you had to wait a month in order to start your ads up again. Would those ads take off again? Most of the time they would. Most of the time they would. You have nothing to worry about. But there are times when it was a winning campaign and something made, like, let the campaign stop. And then you try to start that campaign up again and it does not take off. And I've had this happen before, and it's about hitting that right pocket of people, right, for your ads to take off and make sales correctly. Having ads start good will make sure that the campaign continues good for the life of the campaign. And so if you try to launch that and it doesn't pick up exactly where it left off, the campaign is not going to perform at the performance level that it once was. And this is one of the most frustrating things with Facebook ad. It's super frustrating because it was a winning campaign. It was, great numbers. It was selling, and then something happened. You had to pause it or stop it or whatever, and then you try to get it back, and it never comes back the way that it was. It never does it. And this is why there's a huge rule with Facebook ads, and it says never edit, change, or pause ads. And this goes to that factor. This is exactly why you don't want to do that, because if it's good now, you are lucky, because it's very, very unlikely that it's going to be good again if you pause it or stop it or whatever. This is the mystery of Facebook ads. This is like, if someone actually, nobody would actually know, because the Facebook managers, the Facebook people that built it, they don't even know how it behaves. Like, you can talk. I've had 3 Facebook managers. They don't know their stuff. They don't know. They're not that smart. We, the marketers, the people that spend millions of dollars on the platform, that are in the ad, looking at it day in and day out, that you literally can feel performance, right? You can feel how the ads behave. You can feel this is a winning campaign. You can feel that this campaign is not doing hot. You can feel that there's something wrong. Something's changed. This is not right. It's not behaving correctly. When you can physically feel that, and it's not actually in the numbers themselves, but you just know, then you're expert level like me. But but the managers, they don't do that. They're not invested. They don't have the money spent in the ads. They don't know the platform. They don't have the feeling of the platform like we as marketers have. And so when I'm talking about the pockets of audience theory, and I'm talking about like relaunching and not having it perform, or starting the same, or having down periods or good times and bad times of your ads, this is all theory, but it's all true. Very, very true. Because Facebook ads are a mystery. They always will be. The people that made them don't even know how they operate. They build you guidelines and things that tell you, hey, you should do this and this, but sometimes they're not true. So, and the only way you know is just by being inside the platform day in and day out, and having that feeling of the ads, knowing the, just, it takes time, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's what makes you like an expert level. When you get to that point, when you have been in and out of the platform so much that you just know, hey, ads are good now, ads are bad now. I should scale up. I should launch. Ads are good right now. I should launch more campaigns because they're good. They're more likely to take off because shit's good right now. Normally I can tell you first quarters, right? This is first quarter. March, April, right? March, April, May are always really good for me. The past 3-4 years, April, May, and good. March, April, May are always really good. They're cheap CPMs. They have good times. Things take off really easy. And if you get a lot of things to take off in these 3 months period, you can let that ride through the entire summer, right? You get a lot of campaigns rocking and rolling. You let those ride the entire summer, and you never feel that summer slump that a lot of other people do. A lot of people go out and outside, and they're not on their computers anymore. So there's something called a summer slump, where your sales slow down during the summertime because people are not on Facebook as much. Then when they go back to school, sales pick up again, and then right around end of October, things start getting expensive. So you get this September, October period, about 2-month period, where things are really, really good again, really cheap after summer ends. And then you start getting high because of fourth quarter, and then Black Friday, and then Christmas. And so my favorite times are September and October, and March, April, and May. Those are my favorite months. Those 5 months, those are my favorite months of the year. So I know I can launch a ton of campaigns during those times, and I'm gonna make a buttload of money. And then, because things are just gonna take off and start working a lot more likely to work during those times. And then during, like I said, during summer, try to keep your campaigns live and running for the spring campaigns live and running for the summer months. And then you can relaunch a bunch of stuff. And you can also, you know, have new stuff launching in September, October. Now, I also think you should always launch. Never stop launching campaigns, but I'm just telling you in general when the good times and when the bad times are. And so if you launch something now and it doesn't take off, don't feel bad. It's might be, and you're like really confident about the design and it looks really, I mean, it looks amazing, and it's like, it just didn't work. It could be a pocket of audience thing, a time of the year thing, could just be a bad period. Facebook ads aren't behaving normal. There's lots and lots of factors, and these are just things you gotta know, and you gotta test. If you're really confident about a design, retest it, you know, a couple weeks later, a couple months later. And I go back to the designs all the time that I feel confident in, and I'll go back and test, and sometimes they take off. I might try a niche a couple times, like I say build 5 designs per niche. This is a good idea, right? But like, if I don't have success with those 5 designs, I'll go and test another 5 or another 5. I might test 20 designs in a niche, and before I say, okay, this niche does not buy in, and I give up and I move on to a new niche. And then that niche might not be buying the product I tried to sell them. They might be wanting a different product. So yeah, there's a lot of factors with Facebook ads, but one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video, we covered about pockets theory, good times and bad times. Guys, I really hope you liked this video. These are like more in-depth Facebook ads training tips and tricks. If you want more videos like this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you on the next video.